Good evening. This is the video newsletter for Buy Sell Short for Wednesday, October 19th. As you can see, over the last couple of days, we've been sort of chopping around again. The European BS continues to dominate the headlines, but one thing to keep in mind, if you look down here at the volume bars on the Dow, just for an example, up days are on heavy volume, down days are on lower volume, and that is typically a bullish trend. Everyone and their mom is extremely bearish on this market. We're up 14% over the last couple of weeks. Everyone's calling for a top. Almost everyone is using the same trading strategies they used since the T-bagger highs back in July, thinking the market, really dating back to May, is going to continue to trade the same way. And I am of the opinion that that trend is over, that we've pushed back into a bullish move. And once this European nonsense has been cleared up, off we go back to new highs. And this European issue will be resolved. Today, market holding up really, really well. If you look over the last 2 days, Apple down $20 today, IBM down $10 on its earnings report, and the market held up very, very well. I mean, we had that huge rally yesterday, and again, the driver of that rally was news that there was going to be $1 trillion European bank backstop for the banks in Europe. Of course, and after hours, that number was refuted. And then we had news today, we had the French and German leaders meeting. Nothing was said at the meeting, so then we had that push down in the market. So, the view I have of this market right now is when we get big dips on bogus European news, which essentially is what it is, those are buying opportunities, because usually within a few hours or a day max, we have a contrary news flow coming out of Europe that ends up pushing the market the opposite way. So buy the European dips and sell the huge big pops we see as we work to finally break out and make a move on that 12K level. Now, we do have that big meeting in Europe this weekend. We have options expiration on Friday, so there's going to be a lot of chop up and down as they work to wipe out both the put options and call options, which is pretty much what they do every single month. We are seeing some things we have not seen in this market in a long time. The under $1 stock sector has started to really heat up. Penny stocks are coming back in vogue. Biotech stocks are moving, and those are bullish elements to this market. Ignore the chop that's going on with the major indices. Stocks are moving and moving big and moving in sectors that mean speculative money is coming back, in my opinion. Looking at the Dow daily chart, we had that big sell-off on Monday on the European crap. Then we had a big rebound yesterday on European crap. And then we had a decent-sized drop today on European crap, so probably we will have a rebound tomorrow on the same sort of nonsense, and that is what we're looking at. Breakout, we're probably going to see the buy program set off if we get a break through that previous spike high of back in late August at 11,716. Looking at the 15-minute chart, you can see we've pushed into a rectangle formation, resistance around 11,600, support at 11,300. This is typically a bullish setup in the market. We do have RSI oversold and stochastics oversold, so we're looking, barring Europe sinking into the sea tomorrow, a possible bounce on the market going into tomorrow's session. SMH has been coiling as well here up at the highs. I would not be a buyer on the SMH unless we got to dip back to that 20-day exponential. Again, I'm pushing my focus towards these cheaper price plays that have pretty much priced in as much bad news as possible. I mean, you've got garbage turds running up 50, 100%. Look at DEXO today. That company is, almost $2.5 billion in debt. Just a total turd, up 20%. Nice little mover from the pop scan last night. And that is the kind of stocks that are moving right now. CYTR, our cash-rich biotech play, is finally eating through this idiotic seller who's been putting a foot on the stock over the last 2 weeks. We got to break through the 50-day moving average and through the downtrend line. RSI is up through 50. positive ADX cross, strong stochastics. I am an accumulator here. Just look at what our other play, CYCC, has done. You know, we were buying this one down at 40 cents. It's up 50% over the last couple of weeks and broke out again today. And this one, a breakthrough 65 cents tomorrow. This one is very strong. Could see it make a move up to that 75, 80 cent zone. So, I mean, traders are really starting to move into these lower price stocks, and that is great because that's where we do very, very well. I mean, this is identical to what we saw in the 2009 market, which is what I continue to compare this market to. You know, we're climbing a wall of worry, and, you know, that's really, really bullish for us. Looking out in the medium term, we're going to, of course, have these up and down news flow moves, and, you know, just to keep in mind, like I said, everyone is so bearish on this market. They're all on the bear side of the boat, and, you know, this market always has a tendency to do opposite what most traders think, and most traders think down and bear market. I think the opposite, and, you know, with short interest in the market at 5-year highs, it's hard not to see, once this European issue gets resolved, that we don't really push to new highs, especially with all the liquidity that's sloshing around out there in the system. ANX, another cash-rich biotech play, nice upside, trading $1.59 in cash. Our example of what this one could do is what OXGN has done over the last few days. We could definitely see the same thing on ANX here. $1.10 will probably bring the buyers in here. Our other cash-rich biotech play, NSPH. This is one we were buying 95 cent area, 25% winner force now over the last couple of weeks. Hit all our targets. You know, if you want to hold on to a little piece of that one, it's okay, but make sure you've booked at least 2/3, 3/4 gains on this one. And, you know, possibly look to roll into CYTR and ANX and some of these other plays still sitting at the bottom. Or TNGN. Nice move on this one today. $1 in cash per share, like we've been saying. Another one we've been patiently sitting on. Very nice candle on this one today. Breakout, 53 cents, gives us our 60 and 75 cent plus targets here. MACD cross has worked great here, and we finally broke through that resistance level on stochastics, and we're up through the 20 level. So, again, these stocks trading way under cash in Pennyland. Excellent risk reward, I think, at this stage of the market. Now, speaking of these penny stocks, CFW, actually let me start off with TIV. Oil plays have been moving. This is one we jumped into at 19 cents today. We got a 25% move on it, up to 23 cents. Got a late day pullback. But these are the kind of stocks that are really moving. I mean, look at this one, HRZ. This stock is up 100% over the last 3 days, and it's getting delisted tomorrow. So, I mean, if garbage bankrupt stocks like this are starting to run on heavy volume, that tells you that traders are starting to move back into these cheapo ones, which is why, you know, we jumped into some TIV, CFW, Kano Petroleum, another nice one that could see a move up to 23, 24 cents. Really, really like this one. ICG. Look what this one did over the last couple of days. This one spiked, 100%. So traders are moving into these plays, which is what we really like to see. So we're starting to move. You know, I'm really liking the risk reward on these ones. And especially after, you know, I got to mention this stock, PWAV. Oh, there's the candle right there. Stock, ugly, one of the ugliest warnings I've seen from a small cap stock, and this is actually not this is a mid cap stock that I've seen in a long time. They were expected to do $160 million in sales, and they warned 2 weeks before their earnings date that they're going to do $75 million. That's over almost $100 million shortfall, and they warned 2 weeks before the end of the quarter. I mean, if that's the case, some of these tech plays with exposure in the Middle East, you know, makes me sort of hesitant in these stocks up in the $1 to $2 range now. This is a stock I jumped into for a scalp yesterday and got bit in the ass. We dumped it for a loss in after hours at $1, dropped all the way down to 69 cents. But, you know, these are the kind of things we got to watch out for on some of these tech plays, especially ones that have exposure in Europe and in the Middle East, just given this ugly ass warning these guys pushed. Is there any way we could have traded this differently? No. Our stops were at $1.40. We didn't even have a chance. They opened it at $1.10 after the close. I mean, this is almost like a lot of these other warning plays, NTWK, you know, when it gets close to earnings period, at least for these small cap stocks in the near term, be very, very careful is probably the best advice I could give on these, and err on the side of caution. These are not stocks you want to be going home heavy, heavy, heavy overnight, getting close to their earnings day. Because, I mean, these guys are 2 weeks from reporting, and they issued one of the ugliest warnings we've ever seen. So just keep that in mind. And that actually makes me feel a lot more comfortable playing a lot of these stocks, you know, under $1 because they've been taken to the woodshed already. So that's really it for the video. I'm still medium-term bullish on this market. Big dips that we see on this European crap, would be looking to pick up plays, but loving the action we're seeing in these beaten down stocks. And, you know, I got to pound the table here on CYTR. I think this one's going to be a very, very nice winner for those with patience. Probably over the near term, definitely over the next month or two. So that's it for the video. If you've got any questions, feel free to send me an email. Otherwise, I will see you guys in chat room tomorrow. Good night.